Dear Vaishnavas, please accept my humble obeisances and accept this small offering, which is very essential for us for preaching and to establish the authority of our Guru Varga. And this video will show the superiority of our Vedic knowledge, Puranic cosmology, and it is only one of the proof, but like this, so many proofs there are. I just choose the best one to prove the Puranic cosmology. And actually the duty of Sampradaya, our main duty is to keep true knowledge and to give this to the world in the best digestible form. Yes, now it is very difficult. It is always difficult in the material world, and it is especially difficult in the Kali Yuga, where the ignorance is so much pressed on Vaishnavas who speak the truth. But anyhow, our Guru Varga shows us how we can also speak, not to go against the Vedas, and at the same time support of the Vedas. I will show this in the last slide, how Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura explained the shloka of Pramana. So there are two models in cosmology which we have to know, and if you will study yourself this from YouTube or from any other website or any other sources, it will be confusion, information, misleading, and it is better not to use from there. Very, very carefully touch it. But I studied the fifth canto. On my channel you can see each and every shloka with the translation, each and every word, and it's just restoration of the meaning of shlokas. Please subscribe to my channel. It is not so many shlokas, but it is very, very important information there. And I studied Surya Siddhanta also with restoration of the original meaning. And in this presentation, you will have clear understanding of these two ideas about our world. So the first idea, not idea, but the actual description of Vedas and all the Shastras is the Puranic cosmology. And this is the which is based on the sun movement above the flat, huge earth. This is Puranic cosmology. If we will see, this is like panoramic view, where sun comes from the east to west, and it's just 90 degrees up. It's like we see the sky, and this is our horizon, which is always at the level of eye. Don't be confused from the outside information. It is always at our personal level of eyes. And the time means the sun moves and creates for us day and night. This is the first knowledge. And the second model is this. It means that this earth moves to the left side. It's spinning like this. And sun is immovable. So to have the time, we are moving to this left side rotate, and the sun is immovable there. So this is actually the question of starting point for calculation and observation. This is a very, very important thing, the starting point. So when we say the sun moves from the east to west, the starting point is on the earth. So from earth we observe the sun movement. But what is the second model? The second model is how to see another way, not how to see, how we can imagine in another way, that if the starting point on the sun, or if we are supposed standing on the sun, then according to the relativity law, which will be on the second slide, the earth will move. So this is considered to be equal, but the only question is the starting point, from which point you observe and calculate the movement of heaven object. So we, in the Vedic knowledge, it is based that we are standing on the earth and observe the sky, the movement of heaven bodies. And another model, it is supposed to be we are from the sun, from the standing immovable sun, observed the reality, and from that kind of view, it has to move around the sun. Then it will be look like it will be like same observable reality according to the modern science. So, and all the also important thing, it is the legal position of the model. So what means legal position? It means that the government supports particular model, particular knowledge. Previously, the kings supported the first model, and now no kings, and the modern government, they support the second model. So I will show in the history how it happened in the next slide. But what we have to know that the officials, still it was many officials, even this in the modern days, the second model is fully supported by the governments. Still many officials and many encyclopedias up to the 1969, they presented anyhow two models, and it was the previous flat Earth maps and the filament and the sun movement. The two models somehow were described because of it was supported by some officials. No, even it was the whole government already was supported the second model. Still there was some influencing people who supported another model. But what happened in 1969, it was so-called moon landing of the USA, and they showed this photo of Earth from Apollo, and all officials lost faith. It happened in India, it happened in any other countries. They just believed government, how government can give the wrong information, fake information, and they all believe that, okay, if this model are equal, and this is a real photo of Earth, therefore probably our old knowledge is not much correct. And the photo is a photo. It means our Earth is a globe, and they all officials supported the second model. All Indian Panditas now they supported the second model due to this photo and this TV show how USA landing on the moon. So much problem that time came and the whole world lost absolutely faith in the old model. It was from scriptural model, it was from Bible, it was from Quran, it was from all other scriptures, and the society started going down very fast, down, more degradation. It was and how it happened actually, and why it happened actually, why this the second model, which was according to Surya Siddhanta was popular only among low people, low uneducated people, atheistic, who are in the previous times were considered at the low level. This is very nice explained in the Surya Siddhanta and in my previous video, that from the human vision it is seems like the earth is round. So those who didn't have proper education and he didn't have faith, therefore faith in scriptures, they were followers of that idea, but it was never popular and it was never supported by any government and any scholars actually. So how it happened, why it happened, the second model now become the topmost because of now we have a different hierarchy in the world, and to establish different hierarchy in the world with different goal, with different tradition, to make different tradition, to make different values, the knowledge has to be changed, the whole knowledge has to be changed, and the whole knowledge were presented before in a dharmic, we say in a dharmic shastras or manusmriti, manusamhita, and in my separate book, which soon will come, you will see that in all countries it was similar laws with similar knowledge and actually similar language, and these all laws coming from the Manu who saved people, and through the seven rishi, Sapta Rishi, provided all the knowledge to the all nations, and therefore it was actually one culture with some specialities based on a Manu laws. And the first chapter of those Dharma Shastras was the description how the Supreme Lord is the totality of all lokas and patalas, and earth there is flat at the level of his middle of his body, and the sun, and everything based on the sun movement. So to establish another style of life, to establish another hierarchy, the whole knowledge has to be changed, and the whole previous authorities has to be discredited and defamed. For this reason, the second model now become prominent. So unknown old model and well-known new model. As I said, that previous kings, it was a system of Varnashrama Dharma. They all supported the sun movement and the flat earth. Then Surya Siddhanta, and in my book I will show how the Surya Siddhanta was well known and studied among the scholars around the world. And the authority of India was because of the four sampradayas here, and primary the Brahma sampradaya is here. That was the main authority after Krishna left in India, and only after when India, Bharatavarsha, become a British colony, no kings here now to protect the old system, old knowledge of Sampradaya. So, the second model. The first king at the Middle Ages who supported, who gave the order, who established the Royal Society and gave the order to change this knowledge, this philosophy, was the Charles II or Karl II. And he sent the ships around the world to make the proof, all these things. And there's so many, and his Royal Society, well-paid Royal Society, started doing this big project, preparing new philosophy. And gradually through the 300 years, but at the beginning it was just it was very, very carefully touching this thing. It was like at the beginning it was improving of philosophy, and after it was new philosophy established, like this. So still the majority of populace, they didn't accept was this British science was saying about this. Our reality is different, and our ancient knowledge is just so much, has so many mistakes. There's no precisement and everything. And even at the end of 19th century, up to the end of 19th century, people didn't believe the Royal Society, and in many places was studied the old model, the old knowledge, and Albert Michelson and Edward Morley, they decided to prove the Earth's spine, and they were so much inspired by the modern science. And they 10 years, they spent a lot of money. They were very rich, and they spent a lot of money with the most precise equipment. And during 10 years, they couldn't prove any the smallest movement of Earth. And even till now, nobody can prove it. They just say that it is actually possible, but nobody can prove the movement of Earth. But what Royal Society was so much upset with the fail of this experiment, and they made a conclusion, official legal conclusion, that actually it's because of the medium which has supposed to be to shown the Earth spinning. It doesn't exist. It exists only in our imagination. So they just rejected the medium of this universe, the space of this universe. And in 1905, Albert Einstein saved the situation, and he presented. I forgot to share you that was the experiment how they released a small particle of light, and how it was reflected, and they expected that after when they released light particles, that time Earth has to move, and when they will check when they pierced the screen, it has to be some shipment from the time when it was released to the time when it was pierced the screen. It during 10 years with different arrangement, no any shipment was checked, was 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 found. And the Albert Einstein, he made this speculative idea that actually in a mathematic way, both he offered this the second starting point of calculation, and he said the whole one reality actually can be described in two ways, in two equal ways. And this is his words, that according to the general theory of relativity, the sun does orbit the earth and the earth orbit the sun. They're both equal, and they both orbit together around the place in the between, and both the sun and earth orbiting in the moon. General relativity allows to use any coordinate system. Any coordinate system means different starting point of observation. So in our previous knowledge, we observe from Earth, and in that mental situation, we are observed from the sun, so to see the Earth spinning. So to pick up the system in which the center of Earth is fixed, indeed it can be a system with in which the Earth is not even rotating about the axis. Even you can derive all the equation of motion in this system. So in this system, the sun is moving, not Earth. That was his laviation. It was his floating between two models and establishing the that how the both knowledge actually equal, relatively equal. And okay, it was accepted, it was possible to establish like this legally in among government. Still, of course, people had so much doubt, and only when in the 1967, when the all countries were provided with television, and when the USA showed their moon landing, so-called moon landing, now everything is obvious, but they just already lost connection that everything comes from there. They just demonstrated this photo, and after actually they demonstrated another photo, it was changed many times, proportions, everything, and now they present another Earth. But there is nobody cares now about the contradiction there, because of nobody put focus now on those two models. Everyone already, so many generations changed, and we already all hear from everyone that it is okay, it is well, everyone know, it is all accepted, and it is normal, even if it is difficult. I mean, just it is so many animations, no proof. But the society just don't focused on this problem. And now we have these kind of photos, and in my previous video I show how these kind of photos are made in space, and even now some bold scientists like George Ellis, when he was fighting with his management, that time for for the revenge, he made this statement that actually, no, I will just read directly. The people, the people need to be aware that there is a range of models. So the society even doesn't know that there is a range of models that could explain our observation, sky observation. For instance, I can construct you a spherically symmetrical universe with Earth in the center, and you cannot disprove based on your observation. You can only exclude it on a philosophical ground. It means we exclude another model based on our philosophy, but nobody can disprove it. And I want to bring the open fact. He is the fellow of the Royal Society in Africa. And he is not ordinary scientist and not just fellow. It is the highest position of the Royal Society. He has all the knowledge, all the data which we don't have about the cosmology. He says this. What I want to bring into the open fact that we are using philosophical criteria. So we have our own philosophies, and according to these philosophies, we are presenting our models about the world. And he speaks very critical things, conspiracy things. Now we are supposed to speak a conspiracy, but he speaks that conspiracy there. He said that a lot of cosmology, means the Royal Society, the top of Royal Society, tries to hide that. That is the word of one of the members of the Royal Society. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his youth, fought so many years with the Royal Society, and he defeated the Royal Society. And in his biography, we can read the situation. It was very glorious victory. Only now we just don't focus on this glory, but this is a glory of our sampradaya. And this is the real photos, which some rich people who, some officials who still, after exposing, after realizing that the moon landing was not actual, so some officials, they spent their own money to arrange their own photos above the earth. And this is one photo. This is 33 kilometers above the earth, but it's already cosmos. And the flat earth. And this is 619 kilometers above the earth. So the different details here you can see, but everywhere you see the earth is flat on this altitude. So now we can see directly which model is actually true. This model with the sun movement, or this model when we observe from the sun, all other, everything moving. Some details. So even both models are considered to be same, but let's see their details. So if we will take the sun movement, then the speed of sun is quite normal. If you will check yourself the movement during 24 hours and movement from Earth to Earth, this is absolutely normal. Normal speed 1700 kilometers in an hour. But if we are taking the another model, like how if it will be to follow, to be matched, to correlate, to correspond with this observance, so to calculate mathematically, from the movement spinning of Earth during if the sun is immovable, then the Earth goes around the sun 107 and some small thing kilometers in an hour. For human intellect, it may be not it's not possible just to realize this number, but this comparison can help. The speed of a gun bullet is 3000 kilometers in an hour. The speed of Earth is 100,000 kilometers in an hour. So our Earth is much more faster flying in a space than gun in a 30 times, more than 30 times more than the gun bullet. By the way, this is about the how weird, but mathematically possible, but in the reality, how it is possible. And then the altitude of the sun in the first model, on the next slide I will show, it is the sun actually, when we take the first model and when we take the original measurement from Manasara Shastra, then the sun goes above 50 kilometers above the Earth. The small sun goes above this huge Earth. And then their model is just small Earth goes about the huge sun. Mathematically, it will give same movement of heaven bodies. But all other things, look how weird is this. And the distance from the sun to Earth, that huge, how the sun can be looked very small. It is because of it is 150 million kilometers from the Earth. That's why it is small one. But in the old model, no, the sun is not big one. It is small and close to us, which goes above 50 kilometers above the Earth. And the time, the main thing is a time definition. In old model, time means movement of the sun. So please look at my previous videos. And modern definition of time. It means that time doesn't actually exist. It is it is continuum. What means continuum? And this continuum doesn't have any form, doesn't have any special dimension. It is of philosophical interest. This is a definition from Britannica Encyclopedia. The time is just something, doesn't have any form, and only just feeling of humans and this. And even they in their definition they describe that it doesn't have any form. They try to make the different kind of presentation what is the time, and they don't care that it is contradict to their own definition. So this is the actually proof, scientific proof of Puranic cosmology. If really sun so far away, or it is very close according to the Puranic cosmology. And in Shastras we know here exactly Vishnu Purana, we know that the distance from Earth to the Sun is 100 yojanas. But Srimad Bhagavatam and all Shastras explain the Sun actually moves at different level. During 1 year, it is 3 level. During 5 yuga cycle, it is 5 levels. During 60 years, it is different level, and it going up and down. And in Manasara Shastra, this is a Shastra for any architectural and this is a measurement Shastra. And there is a direct instruction that Kishku Hasta of 24 angulas has to be used for the sun movement. So yojana, in my previous video, I showed that yojana means just a theme, a tariff, a connection, a joint. In the Manasara Shastra, in ancient Shastras, there is no any yojana over 5 kilometers, 12 miles, and so on. Yojana means whatever it is comfortable for your unit, there you can all call it yojana. Yojana just mean connection. And for the sun movement, it has to be used 24 angulas. So I took the ancient archaeological size of angula, finger, and it is 42 kilometers. So in a general understanding, sun is above only 42 kilometers. How this is possible so close? And then we can see different understanding of our atmosphere. Let's check. So this is a Russian more detailed image. Let's see what's happening there at this altitude. Actually, all modern images, they made standard to show for the public only for average data image for the atmosphere. They don't have right to show for the winter, for the summer, for spring, for autumn. It is the average data for the whole winter. So during 1 year, this data will be different. But we also have general meaning 42 kilometers. It is also average altitude. So, and another confusing thing here is just they made for us impression with when they present the atmosphere like this, they give for us impression that how big is atmosphere with clouds. But this is 40,000 kilometers, and this is 10 kilometers only. So the proportion in all modern images is just intentionally confusing people. So if we will see somehow scientific data, they intentionally also look very, very high with so many zeros here, but it is all in a feet and in a meters. So this is 10 kilometers. This is 20 kilometers. So again, this is the question of wrong proportion. This is 10 kilometers. This is 20 kilometers. This is 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, and there it will be up to 1,500 kilometers showing. And this is also not by chance. So what's happening there? And there we see. Then here the temperature, this is a temperature line. At the up to the 12 kilometers, the temperature going down, up to minus 40. Up to minus 80. 80 it is written here. And then from this is at the level of 12 kilometers, and then up to the level of 45 kilometers, the temperature going up, and the annual, so winter and summer together, minus and plus together, it is the average there, it is 30 degrees Celsius. Then after this is 85 kilometers, very close. So again, temperature going down, and up to minus 123 kilometers. And then when it is not clear at which altitude, but around 200 kilometers, again temperature going high up to 2000 degrees even Celsius. But how we can understand this image with these wrong proportions? Then we have to go to the Vedic science to understand what is the cause of this temperature difference. And here I collected already from different scriptures, from Vayu Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Vishnu Purana, Skanda Purana, and others, what's happening on this altitude with 24 angulas, and it is absolutely correspond to the scientific data. So in our scriptures, they all heaven, it is expressed through the seven wind and their location and function. This is a samana wind, and this is I put in a proper proportion and everything, both images. And samana wind is a cold wind which drinks water and makes the rain. Then udana wind, which holds the sun. And it is just at the level of 45 kilometers. 45 kilometers down here. Yes. Then the moon there at around 85 kilometers. There is a moon, and the wind Vyana, which also attract the water, and then the wind Prana, it is on a Svarga, and it's just everything match. And if we will go to the details, it will the actual image, it's showing only one part. Так, Just a second. So in that image, this degree, it is here on. So this image is finished with 1,500 meters, and here in Vedic it is 1,600 kilometers. In here kilometers and here kilometers. So it's just this image has to be extend up to this, but it's similar here. So Dhruva is there at 1,600 kilometers. Saptarishi, it's at the altitude of 1,000 kilometers. The Svarga with 5 planets, it's above 600 kilometers. And Sun is only at 45 kilometers. It is in a scientific data. And it just, the Sun makes hot, the Moon makes cold, and the planet, they also makes hot. It's just, it is described in our scripture in the function of our wind. It is everything described. So by this, they are not know. The modern scientists, of course, they are not. They don't know the Vedic science, the Vedic knowledge. But their data, when they measure this, it is correspond, and it is shown properly what is the cause and what is the result only in a Vedic science. And it is no more mythology with the proper measurement, with the proper 24 angulars. For the sun movement, it becomes no mythology, it becomes absolutely scientific proven. So there are different kind of maps, atmospheric maps, and in some it is shown like 50 kilometers, at some 35 kilometers for the different year when scientists collect. Then we see then this stratosphere, the hot wind, they call it the location of sun wind. Why sun wind? Here, between these two cold wind, between the, they say the moon first and then the sun. But in our atmosphere, when we have 24 angulars, then we know what is the cause of cold temperature here, what is the cause of hot temperature here, and what is the cold of here, cold temperature, and what is the cause of their hot temperature. We have this cause, we have the knowledge about this. They don't have. They just speculate that it's just from chemicals, but the chemicals, this is not the cause. This is also the result. So all heavy stuff going down and all light stuff going up. Their size not big. I will prepare after details how our heaven bodies, luminaries look like. They are not small size. They are mostly made of light. Like the sun is mostly made of light, and sun doesn't have mass, and therefore it is not heavy. Therefore it is held by the wind, udana. Udana means that it brings all the hot air up. The moon is also not heavy. It's not as big as we think. Even it is double big than the sun. It is mostly made of helium, and this helium, and this is a water in the ancient chemistry. It just each and every star after. It is not like we see painting. What we see in our education. It is just painting and animation. not the direct observation and not based on precise measurement and proof. It is not. It is shown in a different way because of they want to present very weird explanation of observable reality with the Earth speed more than 1,00,000 yojana or 1,000 kilometers. It's just the whole picture of the second model. It is absolutely weird, but we have correct, scientifically proven and personal science what the atheists don't like. They don't like our hierarchy where at the top there is a Bhagavan and his servants, and they don't like the hierarchy, heaven hierarchy, and they just want to have their own juridical law, their own hierarchy, and they just want to hide the reality from us. What shall we do? So this is also the image, ancient image from Rajasthan, where you can see the ancient signs. This is them, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in whose body all the upper lokas and the lower patalas, and this is in the middle, the flat big earth, and in the middle of this is the Krishna's pastimes, with the whole meaning become clear through these signs. And now we saw how precise actually it is everything. If this is map of universe from the rasa, from the to show to the essence, the purpose of the universe, but it is not a mythology because of it is everything proven with the precise measurement. So what can we say in the public, not to disturb people? And even the political situation now become more and more favorable, and the truth will come out gradually. Still, to avoid some extra problem in a public, in open public, we can use the method given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura again for us. In Sanskrit, in his shloka, Dasa-mula tattva number 1, this is a definition of Pramana. This is a method how we can discriminate the truth from the false, from the lie. Here in Sanskrit, he directly speaks that the Vedas are perfect. You have to take this from the Guru Parampara, and the everything. We have 9 pramanas. We have 9 methods how to get the truth, and it gives 9 prameya, 9 conclusion. And the line shloka, he doesn't translate this fully in his own translation to Bengali. In the 9th line, he translated just the evidence obtained by the direct perception, pratyaksha. But in Sanskrit here, it is written that we have to follow the guidance of Shastras together with your own personal observation and precise measurement. We have to use precise measurement. We have to be sure that the all description is in Puranas, they correspond, they truly reflect our reality. It is not possible that that will be any mistake in the Vedic Shastras, only until people will go there and to change something. So whatever we receive from Rishi Muni, whatever we receive from the Lord, it is absolutely correct in measurement and in each and every sense. And he speaks here, you have to rely only on those information which is correct with your personal observation and with the precise measurement. You have to use this to discriminate the truth. And it is unjustified to rely on any guessing, any loud statements different from the Vedas, since the logic and arguments, and they are completely based on a targa, the modern model, it is based on a mental speculation, have no access to the inconceivable. So here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, he speaks the truth, but only very high, serious scholars will hear him, and the whole general people will not be disturbed. So in our own preaching, we better either not touch the topic of description of universe, not touching the modern science, or we have to avoid the word of globe, earth. We can say just earth, and we have to avoid the word of globally. We can use just worldwidely. And gradually all the truth will come out, and the whole world gradually will know that the only scientist, the only scholars, the only speaker of truth is the Bhagavan and the Sampradaya, his dear Vaishnavas, and nobody else can able to speak the truth. This is my small offering for your great preaching. Please accept my humble obeisances, dear Vaishnavas.